Okay, so good day po everyone. I will be presenting to you Zewil Primo Tablea Manufacturing Business Plan. So in line po as an overview sa atong investment plan which aims to improve market access of Leyte Tablea to big institutional players and then implement new sustainable farming technology and aid Tablea processors and support MSMEs and cacao farmers. Si Zewil Primo, they intended to create fine and quality chocolate tablets that will provide income to the community and cacao farmers in the area. This is of course to establish and penetrate the existing market and gain more influence sa atong Tablea products while empowering the community, no? Especially yung ating cacao farmers, to empower them with equitable income opportunity. So for our company profile, let's take a closer look sa ilahang enterprise. Ang atong Zewil Primo, it is founded by late Wilfredo Madhus Sr. and the current owner now is Sir Wilfredo Madhus Jr. So, sometime in 2014 manggod, this tablet, chocolate tablets, yung friend ni Sir Madhus Sr., yung sa Coconut Batirol in Manila, they are looking for supplier ng tablea. So, until they realize, bakit hindi na lang tayo yung mag-support or mag-supply ng tablea sa Coconut Batirol. So, they started with the former name Zewil Deli Foods as a sole proprietorship type of business, and then this accelerated when Mr. Madhus Sr. developed two stainless steel cylinder rotisserie roaster for cacao beans. So this cylinder has a capacity of 30 kilos while retaining most of its aroma. So this usually takes an hour to be cooked. So because of the problems ng mga small processors in roasting their beans using the roasting pit of kopras or tapanan baga in Bisaya. So, ang problema their beans smells like smoke or anoos tungod ani nga tapanan. So, naghimo sila rotisserie roaster. So, despite the fact that he does not have or he does not own any cacao farm, he worked on organizing cacao farmers in Matag-Ob. So he envisions Manggod to supply the area with cacao products to further create income opportunities sa community. So he thought of organizing cacao farmers in this area. So he formerly became the president of the Regional Industry Council ng Cacao. This is to meet the increasing demand and create income opportunity. So ang nipuli karon, who is much more willing to pursue and continue the legacy of his father, is Mr. Wilfredo Jr., who aims to turn his chocolate tablets into finer ones wherein there will be no more suspension when turned into a hot chocolate drink bago siya mag-enter sa chocolatier. So to explain what is their business all about, ano nga ba yung goal ni Zewil, isa sa adhikain ng papa niya is makakontribute sa ating cacao farmers sa region by producing mabango, masarap at murang tablea. So to take a look sa ato ang volume of production with and without the intervention of our rapid growth program, currently kasi there is no regular production due to constrained and the irregular supply of a good quality fermented dried beans. So hindi siya maasim-asim dapat. So nung walang COVID, ang volume of production usually takes 3 times a month of about 300 kilograms of FDB per production. So, we all know na during pandemic, yung production ng MSMEs nag-decline. So, if this proposed investment is approved and materialized, makakabalik tayo sa 10,800 kilograms sa first year given that our product improves. Lalo pag na-refine na siya into a better quality. Especially pag capacitated na yung mga farmers natin, no? So, without the intervention of this program, hindi natin ma-empower yung buong system. Thus, growth may be slow or it will remain to 7,200 projected volume of production given nga 1 to 2 times makaproduce or makaprocess per month. To proceed, it is assumed na sa second and third year, there will be a 15% increase sa sales. Sa fourth and fifth year, we assume na ang volume of production will remain the same. It is because sa ato ang business cycle or sa ato ang marketing, we expect na during these years is established na or penetrated na ang ato ang market, no? So, during this time, dapat yung supply natin is ma-ensure na natin for sustainability. So, in year 5, the production is about 50% of the production capacity ni Zewil kung walang rapid. So, from 3 farms sa Kananga and farm sa Matag-Ob, si Zewil may procure sa ilaha, no? But using linear programming, meaning ang least cost of transportation sinaalang-alang natin. So with respect to the distance of travel sa transportation cost, tiningnan natin kung kanino tayo magsusource out. So basically kasi ang raw materials ni Zewil ay FDB, which will serve as the market para sa ato ang capacitated farmer. So, ang 3 kilograms po ng wet beans, equivalent natin siya or makaka-yield na tayo ng 1 kilogram of fermented dried beans. Sa ato ang 14,283 kilograms of FDB a year needed ni Zewil, equal po ito sa 42,849 kilograms of wet beans na i-ferment and i-dry. So, ito po yung sources of raw materials ni Zewil. Year 1, 10,800 yung kailangan niya, 2,420. So, during these times, yung mga tinulungan natin na farmers, expected hindi pa nag-yield yung ating farm. So, sa year 3, we expect to procure from them. So, ang pinakamalapit po natin, by analyzing ano yung pinaka-least cost ng transportation. No? So, si Ka-Farm yung pinakamalapit. So, probably sa kanila tayo mag-source out. Kaso sa year 3, dahil onti pa lang po yung pods per year, dahil first year of harvest pa lang ni Ka-Farm, 13,824 pa lang po yung source out niya from them. So, from the 3 farms, from the nearest town, si Kananga, si Libertad po yung may pinaka lowest cost sa ating transportation and lowest cost sa ato ang delivery pod sa ato ang raw material. So, we expect sa kanya tayo kukuha ng 459 kilos of fermented dried beans. And then sa year 4, kaya na siyang i-supply ni Ka-Farm. Alright, so ito po yung ating cacao industry. So, ito po yung projection ng chain. So, possibly, dito tayo sa kanila magkumuha ng mga seedlings na i-susupply sa ating mga farmers, which are San Isidro, Libertad, Santo Domingo, and Ka-Farm. So, Ka-Farm and these farmers may supply Zewil Primo, and these are the respective distance nila. And Zewil Primo, of course, ito yung mga potential niya na mga market. And this market will, of course, reach our local and international market. So, in yung respective distances natin from Zewil Primo. So, ang ating plant location is at Barangay Talisay, Matag Oblate. And ang ating municipality is committed to establish self-reliant and sustainable agro-industrialized community. So, favorable no? So, near other interconnected farmer groups din ang ating plant location in the province. Such as yung Ka-Farm, yung San Isidro Coffee Coconut Cacao Producers Association, yung Santo Domingo Coconut Cacao Coffee Farmers Association. So, malalapit tayo sa kanila. So, sa ating production process niya, Ka-Farm, ayan. First is mag-purchase mo na siya ng cacao. Either makapurchase ng mga wet beans or FDB. So, we assume na sa ating chain, ang bibili na niya ay FDB or fermented dried beans from our cacao farmers. However, if merong nagbenta nag-opt to sell wet beans, so pwedeng ma-process si Ka-Farm ng fermentation and drying since na-siya facilities. So, meron siyang fermentation boxes, meron siyang wooden boxes. So, prefer din gamitin yung wooden boxes para ma-maintain yung temperature. And meron din kayong solar dryers before tayo mag-proceed sa roasting. So, Zewil Primo uses a rotisserie roaster and then cooling and crushing. And then, ang produce mo after crushing is the beans, no? Cacao nibs. So, si cacao nibs, i-winnow po natin yan, natanggalin natin yung mga hull. So, after winnowing, grinding, no? So, yung ating proposed equipment dito papasok sa ating refining, which is the Melanger, electroprotein 20 kilograms, chocolate Melanger, not butter grinder. So, it is expected, no, that this is about 100,000 in our business plan. And then, expected natin na ma-refine na yung ating products para makaproduce na bilang suspension ng more quality chocolate tablets. So, after refining, Zewil Primo proceeds to tempering and molding and packaging and storing. So, ito yung mga product for Zewil Primo. We have a new store product niya na may Lugay, 140 grams, so worth 75 pesos. So, ayan ang presyo niya, 53.53 per gram. Ano na product niya is 180 grams yung mga label. So, 100 pesos kung binibenta niya sa mga hotel
ginagamit ko naman yun pang gawa ng mga hot chocolate drinks. So, meron yung electrical beans. So, sa person started yung Zewil Primo. So, binigyan ko natin na um, competitive tayo dito sa ating advantage to dahil tapos natin na rin sa competitive so kung siya sa isa sa mga pinakamura ng mga tabli. So, isa sa mga mga player na optimist na hindi yung mga magandang ako na lang. Significant mga sa akin kaya na natin yung mga produce natin. So, significant mga sales na primo. So, inaganda yung mga products na sa bawat stores, pumunta din sa social media ng mga offers. And then, offers and dating cabinet secretary sa Lorenzo Orozco. And he also been scholar. Also, congressman for the engineer with San Pablo. Para sa ating market development. We can also see sa ating post-election performance sa performance ng Zewil Primo. Kung 2019, ating operations dito, we can see na sa ating 2025 sa namin po tayo. However, alam naman ako na apekto ng pandemic sa mga industries. Ang 2020, nagulutin tayo na 350 na mga 360 sa makakita talaga yung ating cost sa transport ng materials and market. And nalimutan nyo naman gawin ang sa mga so, we have proposed investment. Ito po ang ating expected na cumulative sales costs and income. So, hindi na convert income per month natin is very good. Hindi kasi awat-awat kasi pinivide yung ating mga income o sa ating income projected siya dito, cumulative income hindi ka nagpapagod. Wala na po. But in the second year, we're going to see evaluation. So, expected din kasi natin, projected dito, because of course, yung community natin, funds at right place. And, so for yung burden of flood sa mga siya nag-survey ng 697,550.46 at cumulative income. So, sa social availability, our future lahat ng ating future cash inflows expected na siya and will value today because the value of our money today is not equal to the value of our money in the future. Expected na 441,960. Mga sinasabi ng ating future net present value. So, all those future cash inflows towards the investment
sa atin pong interest rate of return, there will be 11.13% na discount rate bago mag-zero yung ating net present value less the future cash inflows less the initial investment. So 11%, 11.13% na discount rate bago to mag-zero. And then of course for our benefit cost ratio, 1.20 ang ating benefit cost ratio, meaning na in every peso of cost na may incur ni Zewil Primo, we will be having 1.20 pesos na benefit. For our return of investment, 24.46% yung average return of investment natin from year 1 to year 5. Ayan. So, proceed naman po tayo sa financial ratios, no? So, sa financial ratios, yung current ratio po natin, ayan, yung financial ratio po natin is first nating titingnan yung current asset divided by current liability. So from first year to year 3, meron tayong 12.60, 25 and 46 pesos, no, na back up na asset per peso of liability. So ang debt to asset naman natin, makikita natin na yung total liabilities natin divided by the net worth. Kung baga gaano kalaki yung utang natin kumpara sa ating net worth or ating net income. So, meron lang tayong 0.06 na liability, no, per peso of asset. So, mas maganda kasi mas malaki ang ating net worth. So, and then pagdating ng year 3 kasi makikita natin na wala na tayong utang. So, ang ating total asset and the total equity, our asset to equity ratio, this will measure kung gaano kalaki sa yung asset ang utang at gano'ng kalaki naman ang hindi utang. So makikita natin sa year 3 to year 4, 100% na ay pag-aari na or nasa owner's equity na or pag-aari na ang tumatakbong asset ni Zewil Primo. So for our profitability or earning power natin, profitability na mga ratios, so we will be taking a look sa ating gross profit margin and net profit margin. Ang ating gross profit margin, ito po yung ating sales less our cost of goods sold, no? Yung net profit, ito yung pinaka net divided by sales. Gaano kalaki doon sa ating sales ang nata-turn into net profit mo. So, palaki siya ng palaki from year 1 to year 5. Same as with our gross profit margin. So, sa ating asset management ratios naman, no, this will be our working capital cycle. Ang ating sales and divided by over the total asset, makikita natin na in every peso of asset, meron tayo, we can turn 2.41 sales. So, lumiliit na lumiliit as time goes by kasi makikita natin na yung sales from year 1 to year 5, so gaano kadami ng asset mo ang nata-turn or na-maximize mo into turning it into sales. So, yan ang ating sales to asset ratio. So, if ma-figure out pa natin how to use these assets, mas magamit itong, mas ma-maximize yung use ng asset na to. So, lalaki yung ating asset management ratios. So, ang ating return on asset, net profit divided by the total asset. So, gaano ulit kadami ng ating asset ang na-maximize or nagiging net profit natin. So, that is for our financial ratios po. So, moving forward, sa investment risk and sensitivity analysis, this is used to assess po yung projected operations ni Zewil Primo kung how much will the changes in the cost as well as the movement of sales affect, no, yung ating mga profitability test. So, one of the options ni Zewil Primo is to purchase net wet beans of about 30 pesos lang and proceed to fermentation and drying bago siya pong mag-proceed sa chocolate tablet sa processing. So, using the optimistic approach naman, si Zewil Primo, bibili siya ng fermented dried beans. However, ang sales will decrease ng 1% and the cost of sales will increase of 2%. So, sa likely na condition or environment, si supplier ay, ating supplier ay wet beans ang ibebenta, but the sales will decrease by 1% and the cost of sales will increase by 2%. So, from year 1 yan. So, most likely, Zewil Primo will procure fermented dried beans and no change will happen. So, that is for our different conditions na possible na mangyari. So, makikita naman natin, no, ang average net profit margin natin mas malaki if Zewil Primo will purchase wet beans and siya na yung gagawa ng another process which is fermenting and drying. Kaso lang, mas madami lang yung kailangan niyang process na gawin. So, mas malaki yung kanyang possible na income. But, pagka ang binili naman niya ay fermented dried beans, so, possible na oriented na siya sa or focus na siya sa paggawa ng quality chocolate tablets. So, ang bibili na lang niya sa ating mga suppliers are fermented dried beans. Ang net profit margin niya expected to be 24.46. So, mas malaki kapag wet beans yung binili niya even though the sales decrease by 1% and the cost increase by 2% kasi magiging 56.52 yung kanyang net profit margin. And of course, bababa sa pinakamababa, which is the pessimistic view. Kapag fermented dried beans yung pinrocure niya, and all this assumption mangyari, no? Yung decrease in sales and the cost of sales increase. Same with our net present value. So, mas malaki pa rin talaga siya kapag wet beans yung pinrocure natin. And then, walang, of course, nangyaring changes sa ating cost and decrease in sales. Then, followed by purchasing wet beans pero merong changes sa ating sales and cost. Then, next is internal rate of return. So, sa optimistic approach, in using wet beans, 31%. So, malaki yung discount rate bago mag-zero yung net present value natin. And 31.16%. So, most likely 11.13% kapag FDB ang binili ni Zewil Primo. So, sa ating cost-benefit ratio, ito naman po yung cost benefit, or in every peso of your cost, how much is your benefit? So, pinakamalaki pa rin po sa ating wet beans, followed by procuring FDB. So, that is for our risk investment. So ano naman yung mga risk natin? So, possible na maging maka-apekto sa ating mga procurement ng raw material. So, hindi tayo tatakbo kung ang operation kung walang raw material. So, one of the risks is yung climate risk, disaster risk, and pests and diseases. So, that is the business plan of Zewil Primo. So, thank you so much, and God bless po.